Am I the jerk? Number 1. Am I the jerk for breaking up with my girlfriend after finding out, thanks to ChatGPT, that she only picked me because I looked like someone else? Not long ago, my girlfriend and I were going through a rough time. She was pregnant, just 6 weeks, no visible belly, and I didn't want to keep the baby, while she did. After weeks of arguing, a whole month of constant fights passed. Eventually, even though she seemed set on having the baby and I was trying to come to terms with it, she suddenly changed her mind and decided she didn't want it anymore. We scheduled an appointment for the abortion. On the day of the procedure, she spent most of the morning inside while I waited outside, nervous, guilty, and overwhelmed. She went in at 7 a.m. and came out around 2 p.m. She looked okay. I took her to get something to eat, we talked about everything. It seemed like maybe things would start to get better. But I couldn't have been more wrong. When I drove her home, my phone had died, so I asked to use hers to scroll through Facebook or watch some videos. After a while, I came across a ChatGPT conversation titled Friendly Reunion. I opened it, and that's when I saw everything. She was telling the AI about a guy named Julian, someone she had a thing with in the past. She wrote that they had recently gotten back in touch and had been talking nonstop for 2 weeks. They ran into each other at the university, and when she saw him, she froze. He looked incredibly handsome with a beard, and just the sight of him stirred something deep inside her. Further down, she confessed they had talked for a while, and that he kissed her. She told ChatGPT she wished he were the one with her instead. She tried to snatch the phone from me several times while I was reading, but I managed to see it all. Furious, I asked her to show me her WhatsApp messages with one of her closest friends, where she had told the whole story. There, she confessed that at first, she only started paying attention to me because I looked like Julian. In a voice note, she even said, "We look so much alike." She also talked trash about me, said I was a piece of shit for not wanting the baby, that Julian would never do something like that, and that he would treat her better. All this while begging me to forgive her and telling me she loved me, even though behind my back she was painting me as a crazy guy who wouldn't leave her alone. After reading everything, I left her house. She cried, hugged me, begged me not to go, but I left anyway. Now, she plays it down. Says I overreacted. That she didn't feel anything. That she was just confused. That it was all hormones. She gaslights me, trying to make me doubt what I saw with my own eyes. But despite everything, I know exactly what happened. What do you all think? Am I the jerk for leaving my pregnant girlfriend? I met my partner 8 years ago. Everything seemed perfect, we were young, in love, and planning a future together. But 2 years ago, I found out something that shattered me. She had been cheating on me, with my own brother. Yes, you heard that right. My brother. I was devastated, betrayed, confused. Why would she do that? Why would she choose him, of all people? My world fell apart. And yet, I chose to stay. I thought we could fix things through therapy and effort. I thought we could heal. But now, things have changed. She's pregnant. And, of course, everyone expects me to step up. My family, my friends, even her parents are pressuring me to take responsibility. But here's the key detail. A few years ago, due to health issues, I had a vasectomy. I'm sterile. I cannot have children. The situation is a mess. Everyone insists that I do the right thing, but I know I'm not the father. I feel trapped, torn between doing what's expected and standing by the truth. Should I step up and raise a child that isn't mine? Or should I speak up and risk being hated by everyone? I feel like I'm living a nightmare. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I feel completely alone. Am I the bad guy for not wanting to take responsibility for a pregnancy that clearly isn't mine? Should I protect my peace and tell the truth, or do what everyone expects of me and take on something I know doesn't belong to me? Comment what I should do. Am I the jerk for refusing to pay child support to my mother, even if she sues me? I'm 27 years old, and for the first time in my life, I feel like something is finally going right. I own a small tech company that's starting to grow, and I work as a developer on several projects. I never imagined I'd one day get a legal notice from my mother suing me for child support. Yes. The same woman who beat me so badly I ended up in the hospital. Who let others abuse me? Who kicked me out of the house for being weird? Now she wants me to take care of her. I grew up in a family with 5 siblings. The 3 oldest were from my mom's first marriage. One of them has a severe disability and still lives with her. The other 2, well, my oldest sister is just like my mom, 5 kids, each from a different father, and she dumped them all on my mother because she deserves to enjoy her youth. She doesn't work, doesn't study, does nothing. My other brother barely finished high school and settled for being a driver. He has over half a dozen kids scattered around and doesn't pay child support for any of them. He lives off the money my mom gets from my other sister, the only one who's actually done something with her life. That sister was a good student. She met a politician's son who fell in love with her, and thanks to that, she's had a stable life. She also went through hell growing up, but today she supports our mother the most. And then there's me. My younger sister and I are from my mom's second marriage. Our dad was more stable, worked hard, but after their divorce, he became extremely religious. He took me in when I was 14, after my mom and older brother beat me brutally for watching girl cartoons. That beating left me with 2 broken ribs and a split eyebrow. They claimed it was an attempted robbery. They threatened me if I told the truth. At the hospital, I begged my dad to let me live with him. He agreed. But what seemed like an escape turned into another prison, church every day, strict rules, and complete silence about who I really was. I hid my sexuality until I turned 20, after finishing university and no longer depending on anyone. My dad paid for my first few years of school, but after that, I paid my own way. Thanks to good grades in my school band, I earned a scholarship in my final years. At 17, I developed a solar panel project to extract water from wells in poor communities. That project changed my life. A prestigious university offered me a full scholarship. No one paid for my education. Not in high school. Not in college. I worked every job I could, building websites, selling music online, whatever it took. And today, after years of effort, I finally have a business that gives me stability. Then the lawsuit came. My mother claims she can't work, that she's sick, and that her children are legally obligated to support her. That she gave me life. That I'm heartless for abandoning her. And legally, she has a case. In my country, abuse or neglect doesn't exist in the eyes of the law if it wasn't officially reported. My father never sued her for child support. There's no record of abandonment. No police reports. I never reported anything either. On paper, she's just a single mother who raised 5 kids. And I'm the successful son refusing to help her. My lawyer says I can appeal, but warns it might damage my company if the story goes public. There's no proof of the beatings. No recordings of the insults. No documentation of the threats. Just my word. And this knot in my chest that won't go away. So I keep asking myself the question that haunts me. Am I the bad guy for refusing to help my mother after everything she did?
Am I the jerk for getting upset that my dad gave my sister $6,000? My sister, who's 43, has always lived a life of luxury, designer clothes, international vacations, fancy restaurants, and an apartment in one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in the city. Recently, she got sick. Her health insurance covered most of the medical expenses, but while waiting for reimbursement, she said she needed around $6,000 so things wouldn't feel tight. Yes, those were her exact words. And who did she turn to? My dad. A man in his late 70s who not only no longer works but also doesn't have his own health insurance. He lives off his savings, money he's been putting aside in case he or my mom faces a medical emergency. Still, out of pure kindness, my dad agreed to give her the money. Honestly, I thought it was temporary, that once she got reimbursed, she'd rush to pay him back. But no. When I asked if she planned to give the money back, she flat out said, no, she claimed he gave it willingly, that it wasn't a loan, and that I shouldn't get involved. I tried to tell myself, it's his money, his choice. But something about it just didn't sit right with me. Then came the worst part. A few days later, during a family gathering, my sister excitedly announced she'd be traveling to Asia in November. Just her plane ticket cost around $3,000. And that's without even considering hotels, food, or activities. I couldn't stay quiet. I told her it felt incredibly unfair that she refused to pay our dad back, just so she could keep living in luxury, while he, at nearly 80 years old, had to absorb that cost like it meant nothing. She burst into tears. She accused me of being heartless, of not understanding her medical situation, and of making her feel guilty when she was already at her most vulnerable. Now the whole family is giving me weird looks. I keep wondering if I was too harsh, but deep down, I still feel like she's in the wrong. So I'm asking you. Am I the jerk for telling my sister she should pay our dad back?
That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you thought about these stories. Do you really think they were the jerks? Thinking face. Here are some other videos I highly recommend, and don't forget you'll find a wide variety of them on my channel. See you next time.